Okay, let's get started. Welcome to the deep dive.
Glad to be here.
Now, this particular deep dive, called AI Daily Deep Dive, it's a bit different. It was actually researched and generated entirely by AI using only the source materials you gave us for today.
That's right. So our goal here is really to cut through the noise, pull out the key insights from those specific sources you provided.
Exactly. We're looking at the top 5 AI news stories from today, Tuesday, June 10th, 2025.
And it covers quite a range, doesn't it?
It really does. We've got AI and disinformation, a brand new AI model, Meta's AGI ambitions, how AI search is heading publishers.
And finally, what makes us uniquely human compared to AI sort of flips the script a bit.
It does. So first up, based on your sources, a pretty worrying insight. AI chatbots seem to be, well, actively spreading disinformation.
Yeah, it's specifically mentioned in the context of the recent LA protests following ICE raids. People were apparently turning to things like Grok and ChatGPT for reliable info.
And they weren't getting it, were they? The sources gave examples.
They did. Like Grok, using Governor Newsom's photos, but saying they were from Afghanistan in 2021, not LA now.
Even when challenged with the correct source?
Apparently so, yeah. And ChatGPT reportedly misidentified one image as Kabul airport. It's quite concerning.
And it wasn't just photos. Your sources also mentioned Grok placing that viral brick photo in LA.
Right, near a Home Depot and Paramount, when it was actually fact-checked as being from New Jersey. Completely wrong location.
And the sources link this to, well, less content moderation online and people sharing old videos presented as new.
Exactly. It just shows how unreliable these chatbots can be for, real-time fact-checking in these kinds of fast-moving situations.
Okay, so shifting from that social impact to the tech side, your sources highlight a big release from OpenAI.
Yeah, O3 Pro. They're calling it their most capable yet. It builds on the previous O3 model.
And the key thing, according to the sources, is that it's an advanced reasoning model, designed to think step by step.
Precisely. That step-by-step capability is important for tackling complex problems.
And who gets access? The sources say it's rolling out now.
ChatGPT Pro and Team users have it now. Enterprise and education folks get it next week. And it's in the developer API too.
Right. And the API pricing your sources gave details, $20 per $1 million input tokens, $80 per $1 million output.
And for context, they mentioned 1 million input tokens as like the length of War and Peace. Gives you a sense of scale.
What about performance? The sources mention expert reviews.
Yes, they do. Rated higher than O3 across different areas. Science, coding, writing, better clarity, comprehension. Follows instructions better, more accurate, apparently.
And it stacks up well against competitors.
Reportedly, yes.
Yep.
The sources mention it beating Google Gemini 2.5 Pro and Anthropic's Claude 4 Opus on some key reasoning benchmarks, like math and science.
Any limitations mentioned?
A few, yeah. Things like temporary chats are disabled for now, no image generation, not compatible with Canvas. Still powerful, though.
Okay, and linking that kind of tech advancement to big company strategy. Your sources have some interesting news about Meta.
Very interesting. Mark Zuckerberg is apparently putting together a dedicated team focused specifically on artificial general intelligence AGI.
AGI machines that can match or even beat human thinking. That's the big prize, isn't it?
It certainly is. And according to the material you shared, this is a major strategic push. It includes that huge reported investment, over $10 billion, in Scale AI.
And Scale AI's founder is expected to join this new AGI team at Meta.
That's the report from Bloomberg, yeah. Though, as the source notes, Reuters hasn't independently verified it yet.
What's driving this, according to the sources? Any specific reason?
Well, the sources suggest Zuckerberg wasn't too happy with how Llama 4 performed or was received, and there were delays with their next big model, Behemoth.
Ah, okay. So this looks like Meta doubling down on AGI, trying to really compete despite maybe some recent setbacks with their other models?
Seems that way, prioritizing the long game.
Right. Now, let's switch to the immediate economic impact. Your sources included a Wall Street Journal report about Google's AI search.
Yes, and the insight here is pretty stark. Tools like AI overviews are apparently hitting news publisher traffic hard.
Because the AI gives you the answer right there in the search results.
Exactly. People get a summary, so they don't need to click the link to the publisher's actual website as often.
Do the sources give any numbers?
They cite the New York Times as an example. Their share of search traffic reportedly dropped from 44% down to about 36.5% in just 1 month, April 2025. That's a significant dip,
Wow. But Google claims these AI features boost overall search traffic.
They do, but your source rightly points out it's kind of unclear if that overall boost actually helps the publishers who are losing those direct clicks.
So how are publishers fighting back or adapting?
Well, the sources say they're exploring different avenues. Some are striking deals directly with AI companies to share content.
Like who?
The examples given were the New York Times reportedly dealing with Amazon, The Atlantic with OpenAI, and even the search startup Perplexity looking at ad revenue sharing models. So new partnerships are forming.
Okay, interesting times for publishers. Finally, let's look at that MIT Sloan study your sources mentioned. It shifts the focus a bit.
It does. Instead of just focusing on jobs AI might replace, Loiza and Rigobon looked at the unique human skills that make jobs, well, resilient to automation.
What AI can't do well, basically.
Exactly. They pinpoint things like empathy, judgment, ethics, creativity, and, interestingly, hope.
Hope. How did they measure that?
They used a framework called EPOCH, based on analyzing thousands of job tasks. E is for empathy, emotional intelligence, think social workers. P is presence networking, like nurses. O is opinion, judgment, ethics, lawyers, researchers. C is creativity, imagination, designers. And H is hope, vision, leadership, entrepreneurs, leaders.
So EPOCH, and what did they find?
They found that jobs needing these EPOCH capabilities actually showed employment growth, and the strongest links were with hope and opinion judgment.
That's actually quite optimistic, isn't it?
It is. The big takeaway from the study, as presented in your sources, is that maybe the best AI strategy isn't just replacement, but augmentation. Using AI to support these core human strengths that it can't replicate.
So, quite a journey through today's AI news, all based on the sources you provided. From chatbots causing trouble to new super smart models, the race for AGI, publishers feeling the pinch, and finally, a reminder of unique human skills.
It really shows how interconnected all these developments are, shaping the information you get and the world you're navigating.
Definitely. And that leaves us with a final thought, really drawn from that last study in your sources.
Right. Given AI's limits and these unique human EPOCH strengths and empathy, presence, opinion, creativity, how might you listening leverage those in your own life or work?
Something to think about. How can you thrive in this future that's increasingly driven by AI? Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into your sources.